My wife said, I quit my job because I make more passive income posting feet pics. You should be supportive. I replied, that's great news. Then I forwarded her content to her very religious parents and reported her earnings to the IRS for tax evasion. The look on her face when the audit notice arrived. So my wife quit her job to sell pictures of her feet on the internet. Just gonna let that sink in for a second. My wife, who has a bachelor's degree in marketing, who worked at a decent company making $62,000 a year, who had benefits, PTO, a 401k match, quit to sell feet pics. And she expected me to be supportive. Let me back up. We've been married 3 years. I'm 31, she's 29. Both of us working professionals. Me in finance, her in marketing. Combined income around 140 K. Not rich, but comfortable. We were saving for a house, had a solid budget, split expenses 60-40 based on income. Everything was fine until about 6 weeks ago. She came home from work and announced, I'm giving my 2 weeks notice tomorrow. I looked up from my laptop. What? Why? Did something happen? I'm making the jump. Jump to what? Full-time content creation. I closed my laptop. Content creation? What kind of content? I've been building an audience on OnlyFans and a premium Snapchat. I'm making almost $3,000 a month just from feet pics. Once I go full-time and can really focus on it, I'll probably triple that. I just stared at her. Wait, you have an OnlyFans? For 3 months now. It started as a side thing, but it's really taking off. And you're posting feet pictures? Yes, just feet. Nothing else. It's actually really empowering. I needed a second to process this. My wife had been running an OnlyFans account for 3 months and hadn't mentioned it once. Why didn't you tell me about this? I wanted to make sure it was viable first, and now it is, so I'm quitting my job. To do OnlyFans full-time. To be a content creator, it's passive income. I post a few times a week and the money just comes in. It's not passive if you have to keep creating content. It's more passive than a 9-to-5. I took a breath. Okay, let's talk numbers. You're making $3,000 a month from this? Yes. So $36,000 a year. You're gonna quit a $62,000 job for $36,000? No, I'll make way more once I go full-time. Probably $9,000 a month, maybe more. Where are you getting that number? Other creators in my niche make that much. Do they post full-time? Some of them. And how long have they been doing it? I don't know, a couple years? So you're comparing your 3 months of experience to their 2 years and assuming you'll hit their numbers immediately? She got defensive. You're being really negative right now. I thought you'd be supportive. I'm being realistic. You want to quit a stable job with benefits for a maybe income based on optimistic projections. It's not maybe. I'm already making $3,000, which is less than half your current salary. For now. We argued for an hour. I laid out every financial concern. She called me unsupportive. I asked her to wait 6 months, build the income higher, prove it was sustainable. She said I was trying to control her. Next day, she gave her notice. 2 weeks later, she was unemployed and creating content full-time, which from what I could see, meant sitting on the couch taking pictures of her feet in different socks. I didn't say anything. I'd made my position clear. She'd made her choice. Fine. But then I started noticing things. Her business expenses were getting out of control. New pedicures every week, $80. New nail polish constantly, $30 to $50. New socks, jewelry for her ankles, props for photos, $100 to $200. A ring light, $150. A better camera, $800. Professional photo shoot equipment, $400. She was spending hundreds of dollars a week on business expenses. I asked her about it. How are you tracking these expenses for taxes? What do you mean? You're self-employed now. You need to track business expenses for your tax deduction. Are you keeping receipts? Oh, no, not really. You should start, and you need to be setting aside money for taxes. Self-employment tax is about 15% plus income tax. You should be putting away at least 25 to 30% of what you make. She waved me off. I'll figure it out. Red flag. 2 weeks later, I asked again, have you set up your quarterly estimated tax payments? My what? Quarterly estimated taxes. When you're self-employed, you have to pay taxes quarterly. You can't wait until April. That sounds complicated. It's not. You just have to file Form 1040-ES and pay what you owe every quarter. I'll look into it. She didn't look into it. I checked our joint account. She deposited $2,800 that month, spent $1,200 on business expenses. Net income, $1,600. Her old job had paid her $4,200 a month after taxes. She was making a third of what she used to make and spending money like she was still employed. I brought it up. We need to adjust our budget. You're bringing in a lot less income now. It's temporary. I'm building my brand. For how long? However long it takes. And in the meantime, we make it work. By we, you mean I cover the difference? We're married. We're a team. A team where one person quit their job without a solid plan and expects the other person to subsidize it? You're being really unsupportive. I dropped it. But I was pissed. I'm not her bank. I'm not funding her entrepreneurial journey selling feet pics because she doesn't want a real job. Another 2 weeks passed. She posted about her business on Instagram, called herself an entrepreneur and a content creator. Posted motivational quotes about choosing yourself and building your empire. Her income that month, $2,400. Expenses, $1,100. Net, $1,300. Meanwhile, I'm covering her half of rent, her half of utilities, her car insurance, her phone bill, all the stuff she used to pay for. I brought up the tax thing again. Have you filed your Q1 estimated taxes? They were due April 15th. I didn't know about that. I told you about it 6 weeks ago. I've been busy. You're gonna get penalized. It's fine. It wasn't fine. I did some math. If she was making $3,000 a month, that's $36,000 a year. Self-employment tax would be about $5,400. Income tax would be another $3,000-ish depending on deductions. She should have been setting aside at least $700 a month for taxes. She'd set aside zero. That was when I realized she's not planning to pay taxes on this at all. I asked her directly, "Are you planning to report this income to the IRS?" "I don't know. Maybe. It's cash, so." "It's not cash. It's electronic payments. Every platform reports to the IRS if you make over $600. Really, yes. OnlyFans, Snapchat, whatever platforms you're using, they all send 1099 forms. What's a 1099? It's the form for independent contractor income. You'll get them in January, and the IRS gets a copy, so they'll know exactly how much you made." She looked worried for about 5 seconds, then shrugged. "I'll deal with it when it happens." That was it. That was the moment I decided I was done. My wife was committing tax evasion. Not aggressively, not maliciously, just through sheer ignorance and refusal to deal with reality. And she expected me to be supportive while she did it. Nope. I spent the weekend gathering information. First, I logged into her laptop while she was out. I know, invasion of privacy, whatever. We're married, we share everything, and I needed to see what I was dealing with. Her laptop password was our anniversary. Easy. Opened her browser. She hadn't even bothered logging out of anything. Found her OnlyFans account dashboard. She had 487 subscribers at $12.99 per month. I did the math 3 times to make sure. That's $6,325 in monthly revenue, more than double what she'd been telling me. Found her premium Snapchat, 231 subscribers at $9.99 per month. Another $2,308, total monthly revenue, $8,633. She'd been telling me she was making $3,000. She'd been lying. Or maybe she genuinely didn't know. Maybe she never actually added it up. Maybe she was so bad with money that she had no idea what she was actually making. Either way, the numbers didn't lie. I checked her accounts. She'd set up payments through PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo, plus direct deposits to a separate bank account I didn't know existed. A checking account at a bank we don't use, opened 2 months ago, with about $18,000 in it. Another $3,000 sitting in her PayPal. Maybe $2,000 across the other apps. That accounted for about $23,000 of her earnings. The rest, close to $8,000, she'd apparently already spent on who knows what. Personal stuff, probably. Definitely not tracked as business expenses. She'd been hiding money from me. I went back further in her records, found her transaction history for the past 4 months. January, $6,100. February, $7,400. March, $8,200. April, partial, $8,900. Total, about $31,000 in 4 months. She'd reported zero of it to the IRS. She'd paid zero in taxes on $31,000 in income. I checked her email. No 1099 forms yet, those come in January, but I found confirmation emails from the platforms. They all had the same language. As required by IRS regulations, we will issue a Form 1099 for all creators who earn over $600 in a calendar year. She'd earned 50 times that. The IRS would 100% know about this come January. She was going to get 1099s from multiple platforms, showing tens of thousands in income. Income she hadn't reported. Income she had no intention of reporting. And then I found her business expense spreadsheet. At least she was tracking something. Except she wasn't. The spreadsheet had maybe 30% of her actual purchases. She documented the camera and ring light, but not the weekly pedicures. She tracked some of the props, but not the socks or jewelry. She had no receipts attached. This wasn't a business. This was chaos. And she'd spent about $6,000 of this business expense money on my credit card, because she'd maxed out hers. I checked our credit card statements. There it was, $480 at AITA, $320 at Sephora, $180 at some boutique sock store, $90 at a nail salon, $65 at another nail salon, $125 at yet another nail salon. She'd been charging her business expenses to our joint credit card, and I'd been paying them off without questioning it because I thought she was buying normal stuff. She'd spent $6,000 of our money on her OnlyFans business while hiding the income in a secret bank account. I was furious. This wasn't just disorganized, this was theft. Second, her content. I needed to see what she was actually posting. For context, it wasn't just feet. There were suggestive poses, angles that showed more than just feet, captions that were explicit about what subscribers could request. This wasn't empowering, this was sex work. I'm not judging sex work, but I am judging lying to your husband about what you're doing and expecting him to financially support you while you do it and commit tax evasion. Third, her parents. Her parents are the kind of religious that makes other religious people uncomfortable. Her dad is a pastor. Her mom runs a Christian women's ministry. They're the evolution isn't real, Harry Potter is satanic, gay marriage is destroying America type of religious. She'd rebelled against all of that when she went to college. But she still maintained a relationship with them, visited them at Christmas, called her mom every Sunday. She'd told them she quit her job to freelance in marketing. They had no idea what she was actually doing. I made my decision that Sunday night. Monday morning, she left for a coffee shop to work. Take photos of her feet in cute socks. The moment she was gone, I got to work. First, I created a burner email address, sent an email to her dad's church email, publicly listed on the church website. Subject, about your daughter Jessica. Body, I think you should see what your daughter is really doing for work. These are publicly available on a website called OnlyFans, where she sells adult content. I thought you'd want to know. Attached, 10 screenshots from her OnlyFans. Face visible in some of them. Nothing explicit, but definitely suggestive. Enough to make the point. Sent. Second, I filled out IRS Form 3949A. Information referral. Suspected tax fraud. Name of person you are reporting. Jessica SSSN. I had it from our joint tax returns. Address. Our address. Description of violation. Subject has been operating an OnlyFans account and premium Snapchat since January current year. Has earned approximately $31,000 in income from these platforms between January and April. Has not filed quarterly estimated tax payments. Has not reported this income to the IRS. Has stated explicitly that she does not plan to report this income because it's cash. It's not. All platforms issue 1099s. Recommend audit. Attached, screenshots of her account dashboards showing revenue. Screenshots of payment deposits to her accounts. Submitted electronically through IRS website. Third, I took screenshots of everything. Her OnlyFans revenue, her Snapchat revenue, our text conversations where I'd asked her about taxes and she'd blown me off. Everything. Saved it all to a cloud drive she didn't have access to. Then I logged out of everything, cleared my browser history, and went to work. That evening, she came home around 6. Normal day. How was work? I asked. Good. I had a really productive photo shoot. I think I'm going to hit $10,000 this month. That's great news, I said. She smiled, genuinely happy. I felt nothing. 2 days later, her dad called. I was at work. She called me, hysterical. My dad saw my OnlyFans. What? How? I don't know. Someone sent him screenshots. He called me and told me I'm a disgrace and I'm going to hell and he never wants to see me again. I made sympathetic sounds. That's awful. I'm so sorry. My mom is devastated. She won't even talk to me. She just cried and hung up. Do you have any idea who would have sent it to them? No, I don't know. Oh my God, this is a nightmare. Maybe someone from high school? Someone who has it out for you? I guess. I don't know. She cried for an hour. Called her parents 4 times. They didn't answer. I ordered pizza for dinner, ate it while she sobbed on the couch. 3 weeks later, the letter arrived. IRS envelope. Addressed to her. She opened it at the kitchen table. I was making coffee. What the fuck is this? What? The IRS is auditing me? What? Why? She read from the letter. RAT's notice of audit for tax year current year. We have received information suggesting unreported income. Please provide documentation of all income and expenses for the period of January 1st through December 31st. Oh shit. How do they even know? I haven't filed yet. Someone must have reported you. Oh, I don't know. Maybe the platforms reported you automatically? Can they do that? I mean, yeah, they have to report payments over $600. She started panicking. What do I do? Get a CPA or tax professional. I don't have money for that. Then you're gonna have to deal with the IRS yourself. I don't know how. Probably should have thought about that before you quit your job to commit tax fraud. She looked at me. What? I told you to track your income. I told you to pay quarterly taxes. I told you this would happen. You said you'd deal with it later. Well, it's later. You're not gonna help me? Help you with what? I'm not a CPA. I don't know how to handle an IRS audit. But you know about taxes. I know enough to know that you're fucked. She stared at me. Why are you being like this? Because I'm tired. Tired of what? Of you expecting me to fix your problems. You made this choice. You quit your job. You didn't pay your taxes. You lied to me about how much you were making. Now you're dealing with the consequences. I didn't lie. You told me you were making $3,000 a month. You were making $8,600. Her face went white. How do you know that? I looked. You went through my stuff. Yeah, because you were lying to me and spending my money and I wanted to know what I was dealing with. You had no right. I had every right. We're married. Your financial decisions affect me. And you've been making terrible financial decisions while expecting me to cover for you. I can't believe you spied on me. I can't believe you committed tax fraud and expected me to be fine with it. We stared at each other. Did you report me to the IRS? She asked quietly. Yes. Her mouth fell open. And I sent your content to your dad. She didn't say anything for a full 10 seconds. Then, what? I sent screenshots of your OnlyFans to your dad. That's how he found out. You. What? Why? Because you needed a reality check. You were living in a fantasy where you could quit your job, commit tax fraud, spend all my money, and face 0 consequences. I gave you consequences. I'm your wife. And you treated me like a bank. I'm done. You ruined my relationship with my parents. No, you did that. You chose to do sex work. That's fine, but you also chose to lie about it to people who you knew would care. That's on you. Sex work? I was posting feet pics. You were posting suggestive content and taking requests from subscribers for money. That's sex work. Own it or don't do it. She was shaking. I want a divorce. Great, I already talked to a lawyer. That wasn't true, but it would be true by end of day. She moved out 3 days later, stayed with a friend. Her parents still aren't talking to her. The IRS audit is ongoing. From what I understand through our lawyers, she owes about $11,000 in back taxes, penalties, and interest. She's trying to set up a payment plan. Her OnlyFans income dropped significantly after she had a mental breakdown and stopped posting for 2 weeks. She's back to posting now, but her subscriber count is way down. She had to get a regular job. Works retail now. Makes $16 an hour. We're divorcing. No kids, no shared property except a lease we're both on that ends in 3 months. Pretty straightforward. Her friends think I'm an asshole. Her family still won't talk to her, but they'd probably think I'm an asshole too if they knew. My friends think it's hilarious. My family thinks I handled it poorly but understands why I did it. I don't really care what anyone thinks. Here's the thing, I didn't ruin her life. She ruined her own life. She chose to quit a stable job for an unstable income. She chose not to pay taxes. She chose to lie to me about how much she was making. She chose to spend my money without asking. She chose to keep her work secret from her parents while still maintaining a relationship with them. All of those were her choices. I just made sure she faced the consequences of those choices. Could I have handled it differently? Sure. I could have sat her down, had another serious conversation, given her an ultimatum to get a real job, or I'd leave. But I was done having conversations. I'd had multiple conversations. She'd ignored every one. Sometimes people need to hit rock bottom before they make changes. I just sped up the process. The IRS reporting was justified. She was committing tax fraud. That's illegal. Reporting crimes isn't cruel, it's civic duty. The parent thing? That's the one people say went too far. Maybe. But here's my perspective. She was lying to her parents while still benefiting from a relationship with them, taking their money when they sent birthday checks, accepting their help when she needed it, all while doing something she knew they'd find morally reprehensible. That's using people. I just made it impossible for her to keep using them. Is it harsh? Yes. Is it wrong? That's debatable. Do I feel bad? Not really. I feel bad that it came to this. I feel bad that my marriage ended. I feel bad that we couldn't be honest with each other. But I don't feel bad about my actions. She made her choices. I made mine. She wanted to be an entrepreneur and choose herself. Great. Now she can deal with the actual reality of entrepreneurship, taxes, consequences, and zero safety nets. I'm moving on. Found a new apartment. Starts next month. It's smaller, but it's all mine. I'm done funding other people's delusions. The divorce will be final in about 6 months. She can keep her OnlyFans empire. I'll keep my sanity and my savings account. Fair trade.